good afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Wisdom in Golf, Golf WRX.
Golf's perfect imperfections.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
And you may wonder why I'm looking a little constipated here. I had the misfortune of storing away my winter tires, and it's downstairs in underneath. We have an excavated garage, and I kind of slipped while holding a heavy tire, and my wife had a little bit of a scare there for a second, but we're all laughing about it now because I look like an upside down turtle. And so I had a nice rib injury and went to the hospital, and they said, hey, everything's okay. There are no cracks. There's no separations. There's no breakage. The rib cage did its job. And I'm going, yay, why does it feel so awful then? So right away I jumped in the suit with Catalyst, and I did a recovery session and I did a cardio session. And I really banged myself up. My right knee is really, like my kneecap is bruised, and my left elbow was really stiffening up yesterday. And after the workout, like my elbow was completely fine now. The stiffness is gone, and already I could see a big difference. But this Catalyst suit is acting like it's got a double purpose to it because, pardon me, these have it takes everything and makes it very snug around your rib cage, so that the contacts can just stay right nicely up, on your skin. And it's taken away like 3 times the pain. If I take this off right now, I wouldn't be able to talk to you right now. So thank you, Catalyst, based on that. And Moo's he says, he had playing in football. He says, man, when you sprain an ankle.
Yeah, when you sprain an ankle, it's kind of the same deal, right? Where you're experiencing like the strength and stability of the muscle and the joints are kind of compromised with the soreness and swelling that's taking place. So what the suit's actually doing for you is kind of help you rebalance your rib cage and rebalance your walking gait so that you can do what you want to do day to day.
And that made so much sense because, if I've got weak ligaments and weak muscles in the rib cage, you feel it right away. I mean, everything goes through the core.
Right, that's right.
And for those of you who've had some rib injuries before, it is, I know how I feel, but it's been, today's been a game changer for me because I've been able to at least, take care of my students.
Right.
Albeit I'd have a little. So if you hear me flinch a couple of times over the course of this session, you'll know why.
He did a number on himself, people.
Oh yeah, yeah. We had quite the laughing session yesterday. My wife and I were laughing hysterically. I was sitting on the couch trying to recover from all this, wondering if I'm going to go to the emergency or not. And the commercial comes on TV and it says, how's your day going?
Well,
we couldn't stop laughing, and we were laughing hysterically for 15 minutes. And that was kind of painful, but we had some good endorphins, hit the brain on that one.
Oh, man.
So, but hey, what about this PGA Championship?
Yeah, it was quite the show.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm looking at I don't think I've ever watched more reruns from a major championship before. And the feel-good story of what Micheal Block is doing. I mean, I definitely live vicariously through him because that's what I do. I'm a teaching pro, and I'm a lifer. Mm-hmm. And I do take pride in my game because I like to hit it solid, and I like to hit it far. And you got to hit it far while you're out there. And he looks like a pretty big boy. And he's, he already likes to play some home matches. Mm-hmm. And that's, you think about it, that's what Lee Trevino and Raymond Floyd, there's a name for you. Ray Floyd, before these guys hit the tour, and there wasn't a lot of money on tour back in the day when they first started out on tour. So a lot of the side bets and money matches that they had really helped support them. Mm-hmm. And it was, there's some stories about Lee Trevino playing Ray Floyd a few times, and these guys were in the low 60s just going at each other's throats. And then, you get on tour, it's a cakewalk.
Right, because mastered your edge and
exactly
playing when it matters.
And you get comfortable with that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you ever seen anybody look more comfortable than Micheal Block?
No,
Right?
But yeah, he was. It's like
In front of the camera and
Yeah.
in front of the patrons.
Yeah.
Nothing was phasing him. He didn't want to look at, leaderboards and things like that. He says, I'm here to play my game. And if it measures up, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. I mean, it's not my full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
And man, what a Cinderella story that was on the final day. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got to make top 15 to come back the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there at 2 over par, and he knows he's got to be like at 1 over or even to get there. And then has a hole-in-one, a hole number 15.
That was
straight
wild.
into the hole, slam dunk.
Yeah.
And, the crowds were just like off the hook. And so I'm wondering what his bar tab was, though.
Yeah.
Like in the interview after, he says, I'll stay here for a while, guys. I'm trying to get the crowd to dissipate because I got a big bill waiting for me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But well, let's put it this way. He's earned quite the check. It was like just a little short of $300,000.
Right. Yeah.
They were saying in the interview that his check for the tournament equates to 1,902 lessons. And he started getting really emotional because he was like, obviously it wasn't about the money for him,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
when you put it in that kind of perspective, it's
Yeah.
But it's validating the individual, that, hey, I hung with these guys. I beat it. They were listing who he beat and by how many shots.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Really? And you think about that. Well, you beat Rory by 7 and you beat this guy by 10 and you beat DJ by 12 and right?
Yeah. I think his price is going to go up with his lessons after that experience.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he's going to be in really super demand.
Yeah.
Just for the stories. I mean, I think people are just going to want to, hey, let me book I'm going to book a 3-hour lesson with you.
Just to hang out with
Just
you.
to hang.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what we do. I just want to hang with you.
Well, he got a call for a sponsor's exemption too for the Charles Schwab.
Wasn't that awesome?
Mhm.
Did you see when he was receiving the call?
Mm-hmm.
He says,
don't-
you're not about to say what I think you're going to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets, he could really see how emotional that was, right? Because that's a wicked cool invite. I mean,
Yeah. You dream about those moments. Yeah.
there are a lot of guys that were passed up
Mm-hmm.
for that invite, but it's when the sponsor's considering the event,
Mm-hmm.
he's considering the TV, he's considering the advertising. Hey, Micheal Block's going to be there. Man, the ticket sales are going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to want to be there now.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine? I can't wait to see the galleries
Mm-hmm.
that he's going to attract at that event. It's going to be phenomenal. So, hats off. Thank you. Thank you for the thrill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a thrilling watch, big time. And I think he made everyone's day or everyone's week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody over there that didn't appreciate, what he brought to the table for that tournament.
Yeah. It was really cool.
So, and his swing looks pretty good. He's got a nice, he's got a good rhythm. He's got a nice slinging action. I'm sure he's not the longest guy out there, but he's long enough.
Yeah.
And like he said, he says, those greens were perfect. He's put me on those greens. I know I'm going to make a lot of putts. So
Yeah.
he made a lot of putts for par, and he got a lot of up and downs. I mean, he shot 3 rounds in a row at even par and 1 over for the last round.
It's really
Hey,
good.
come on.
That's really good.
For that golf course and the way
Yeah,
it was
that's
playing,
like-
that's wow.
Yeah.
To me, that's like anybody else winning a major, right?
True.
Holding it together.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're looking to improve on your scores, you do exactly what Micheal does. You count them up when it's over.
Mm.
Don't look at any scoreboards.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know. I don't care where I'm at. I have this next shot to hit. And what do I need to do to hit this next shot? I need to put it there. And so, it creates that plan of attack and executes, and wow. Right? Because
Yeah.
like you said, he says, I can't go left and I can't go right on that par 3.
Mm-hmm.
Either side is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go for it. You gotta love that, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta, pardon the expression, you got man up and hit the shot.
Yeah, he was not defensive at all.
No. And then he went for it, knocked it straight in the hole. And like Rory said, he says, I had trouble with that hole all week.
Yeah.
Right? And here he comes, gets up on the tee and just dunks it straight into the hole. It's like, come on.
Wild.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you got to.
He didn't
Tip your
even
hat to that.
realize at first that it was a hole in one.
Right.
He just thought he had stuck it close because the crowds had been so great all weekend.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, I must have stuck it close. And then Rory's like, no, it's in the hole.
Rory McIlroy's hugging me for a golf shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's this very special golf shot. It's like
Yeah.
hole in one at the PGA Championship coming down the stretch for you to, make top 15 so you can come back next year.
Yeah.
And then win a sponsor's invite for the following event. I bet you he's going to get a bunch more sponsor invites.
Yeah.
And because of that, he's going to start getting some sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
Right? TaylorMade's going to throw some money his way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, he deserves everything he gets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, right, people? So get your pocketbooks out. Take care of Mike. It's a worthwhile investment because it's such a feel-good story. So anybody associating themselves with that story is gonna do very well.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool, huh?
Yeah.
So, as far as any surprises on your end, as far as who struggled and who didn't?
Yeah, there's a few of them that I was surprised. Like Justin Thomas struggled quite a bit. Some of the top guys were struggling quite a bit, but that course was playing really, really tough.
Yeah, I was looking at the course and like you're gonna struggle no matter who, but it's just like who's willing to just grind it out and brush it off, and all right, I'm just gonna take care of business and do what I got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was there was one hole in particular that took care of two individuals, right? You look at Victor Hovland, and Corey Connors.
Yeah, which hole was this?
And they both bladed the ball from that fairway bunker into the lip of the bunker. And the ball embeds in the lip of that bunker. So then, it's not a penalty because it's embedded, so they can take a drop, but the drop is so awkward, it's in that thick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, TV just doesn't do justice to the level of difficulty that some of these shots are, some of the shots that the players are presented with.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the ball was below their feet, but I also bet that it was slightly downhill as well. Oof. So, I mean, you got two really wickedly good ball strikers there that struggled with that shot.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're both going for the green in two. And like Hovland had a 9-iron in his hands, and he sculled it straight into the lip. And they both double bogeyed the hole. So, on a golf course like that, where birdies are very hard to come by, it's hard to make that up.
Yeah, with the weather too, the rain definitely made it even harder of a course to play.
Yeah, it was wet out there.
Well, it's easier to hold the fairways.
Fair, yeah.
However, you don't get any rollout.
No.
Right?
Yeah, it's just like some par fours that were like 500 yards. It's like, good luck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wicked long.
You couldn't even see the ball in the rough.
No.
Like,
I've
chance.
I've never seen that before for a golf course to do that.
I remember Shoal Creek. There was a PGA Championship in Shoal Creek, Alabama at the time. And typically, the PGA Championship is not like the U.S. Open. You typically set it up as difficult as the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was the same way. I mean, the ball would just disappear when it hit the rough.
Yeah.
And it's just the difference between, driver and gap wedge into the green versus driver and can't get to the green.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I just got to punch onto the fairway. There's no option there. It's like you take your medicine and do what you can.
Yeah, and I thought the level of the short game was really on display there. There was some seriously good up and downs from all over the place. I mean,
yeah.
Micheal Block on hole 18. Jesus, he had a driver slightly in the rough on the right, and he took a fairway wood out just to get it close to the green to squirt it out of the rough. He had a half decent lie, and the ball goes well left, into the crowd, and then he hacked it out of there onto the green to 11 feet or something like that and made the putt.
Yeah.
For for all the marbles.
Yeah.
Of all his marbles.
Yeah.
And the up and downs were just epic, and that I guess had played a lot with the quality of the greens. When the greens are that good, you know, they're fast. You just have to start them online, and you know it's going to hold its line.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you saw a lot of chip-ins throughout the weekend. Yeah, so yeah, it's true. There's a lot of nice short game play there.
And look at you see Bryson.
Mm.
What were we going to say, Seth?
Well, there's like a lot of good short game, but then there was a lot of like little duffs.
Yeah.
And so it was like 50-50 on what you're gonna get, but I think it probably came down to it being more of a mental toughness weekend, because everybody struggled, but I think the guys who came out on top were the ones who were able to like keep their head a little bit more.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Because I mean, you're gonna get thrown all those curveballs, and I mean, it's gonna be the same at the end of the day for everybody. But I guess it all boils down to who's just able to keep it together up.
Yeah, because I saw a lot of pros cussing a lot on the tee boxes. On
I didn't get a chance to see the first couple of rounds. I heard John Rahm was really heated up about a couple of situations.
Yeah, him and
I think that's where he probably lost his cool.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's what did him in for the event. I remember way back in the day, John Daly, one of the U.S. Opens, and it was a ridiculous hole. The hole was perched on a certain part of the green where, if you didn't chip it high enough, like meaning if you didn't chip it within 2 feet, the ball would roll off the green. So then you'd have to chip it on again, and then after the third time, Daly just whacked. You know, he just starts walking, whacks the ball like into oblivion, and just walks off the golf course. So I'm done.
There was
yeah.
That reminds me of there was a NCAA women's golf tournament that happened a couple weeks back, Division III, but it made the news because the pin placements were so out of control. Yeah. I saw a video of this girl. She had 4 putts that were uphill. It was the same putt 4 times in a row because it would go up past the hole and then trickle all the way back down to where she was. She did that 4 times in a row, and that was like not uncommon. It was like that on all of the holes, and the tournament, they ended up completely kiboshing the 3rd round because it was just like
we made it too hard.
It was awful.
Yeah, I think the tournament somebody in the tournament organization lost their job on that one.
I mean, for a Division III NCAA women's golf tournament to make the headlines of Golf Digest because of something like that, I mean, that must have been awful to play.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, just you describing that, you're rolling a putt past the hole, and then the ball comes back past the hole and back to you.
She was only missing the cup by like inches, not even. Like she was skimming the hole.
Right.
It was just like,
talk about pressure.
Yeah.
It's like playing tennis against the wall. It keeps coming back at you.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you hit that tennis ball, it'll keep coming back to you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck big time.
Poor things.
And then could you imagine the absolute horror that she must have felt and the stress of that? I mean, you know what I mean? Talk about if somebody's really worried about looking bad.
Yeah.
That's putting a lot of pressure on them.
Especially because people typically only see the score, right?
Yeah.
They don't really get to see what happened during the round and like the behind the scenes. So that must have played into factor too, because you're like, oh, they're just going to see this wildly absurd score and it wasn't even my fault.
That's it. It's, there's a saying in golf, it's not how, it's how many.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that you gotta put some context into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's there's a story to it. So that's again, what an amazing. I mean, look at the stories behind the stories with Brooks, and we saw the Netflix series and how down in the dumps he was with his confidence. And I'm sure that played a lot with, hey, somebody's sending me a lot of money right now. I don't have to worry about that. And right now I don't feel very good about my game. So that must have played a lot into his decision. But to come back like that and, his with his team and his physiotherapist, and taking care of, you got to take care of the body, you got to take care of the nutrition, you got to take care of
the mind.
Everything at home. Make sure everything at home is going well, and then hopefully the body's good enough so that you can swing the way you want to swing, and then to come out on top again like that is just hats off.
Yeah,
there's a few LIV players up there.
I think
this weekend.
Oh yeah, there's a few that shaked up the world ranking for sure after the finish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they were talking about Micheal Block's world ranking.
Yeah.
You've moved up 3,000 spots to 500 and right.
That's like the biggest increase.
I'm in the top
time.
1,000 in the world. Wow, that's awesome. That was hilarious.
That's crazy.
So then again, I think that just put a little bit of a olive branch between LIV and the PGA Tour, because everybody was kind of a little more lenient and more accepting and more congratulatory. You know, it's not like, no, man, you have to give it to him, man, because the guy played his guts out.
Yeah, the journalism was a little different on the LIV coverage on this week.
Yeah,
like they're less antagonizing about the LIV players and how they're performing. They were just kind of quiet and just letting the tournament take place.
Yeah,
which is was nice to see. It was just who's going to be better today, on the golf course.
Yeah. I remember, and it was Nita was really, we were noticing while I was, in between lessons, and the TV was on, and she says, "Look at all these photo shoots or opportunities, photo ops that he's got." So I said, "Yeah, he's got all the staff from the golf course staff, and then the volunteers, and then the PGA of America, the USGA, all of his close friends, blah, 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 right?" So, like, it was nonstop for an hour, and everything was so organized. It was like really, that was a better photo shoot than any wedding I've ever been to.
Yeah, the logistics are probably very rigid.
Yeah, it's very regimented.
Yeah.
And at one point, at the beginning, you could see Seth Waugh, and he was pretty critical of LIV. And then they were exchanging smiles, and and he turned around and had a little chuckle or something like that. And I'm going, well, there's a bridge.
Yeah.
Right? I thought that was, I go, oh, Seth Waugh right beside Brooks Koepka. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen there, right? Because you're thinking, ooh, it's like the way they've been talking has been nothing short of abrasive.
Yeah.
But it was very cordial, very polite. I think very golf-like.
Yeah, I think they recognized the antagonizing was kind of making the environment toxic for golf. It wasn't really.
The narrative was getting so old.
Yeah, it was getting old, but also just not productive anymore. It's like it's not really bringing good feelings to the whole game of golf. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, LIV is here to they're here. They're not going anywhere, and you got to accept it.
I mean, it's just another golf tour.
It's
just another tour.
Yeah.
And like it gives more people opportunity to play professional golf, make a living, do what they love. It's just like, okay, can we let's just put it all to bed. I mean, if you don't have the same opinions, that's fine, but you can still be cordial with each other.
Yeah, I mean, and in the background, if you look at the business world, there are a lot of business dealings every day with all kinds of countries that, and they're trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think extending a little bit more of a lenient hand and hey, congratulations, that's good, and it's always nice to have good feelings, and that tends to breed more good feelings and more goodwill on both sides. And I hope that continues.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
I really hope that continues.
But now there's a talk of who is able to, play for the Ryder Cup team. Right. And the talk about, okay, well, are LIV golf players, going to be accepted into that? And, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, who are the best players in the world? Yeah. It doesn't matter which tour they're from. Yeah. I mean, if you want to win, you know what I mean? And, nothing, nobody, bleeds more red, white, and blue than Brooks Koepka. I mean, as a Patriot,
And you definitely want him in your corner if he's playing well. Oh my gosh! I mean, not having him on the team would definitely be
a mistake. Yeah,
yeah, that would be a mistake. If that's what you want, man, you want to bring home the cup.
Yeah,
you need your boys.
Yeah,
you need to get the team together, and you need to have a positive vibe going through there, right? It's like, let bygones be bygones.
Well, at the end of at the end of the day, all of those guys are competitors at their core, right? Like, they want to win, and if winning within a team is what they need to do to win, then they're going to do it. Yep. I feel like they're all mature enough to put the issues aside for a tournament and just, like, come together. And
you look at what just happened this week when it comes to that. Could you imagine how much of a bridge the Ryder Cup would be? To bring everybody together?
Yeah.
That would be something else.
Yeah.
I think that would bring everybody to the table and say, okay, how can we make this a win-win for all of us now? And then work around that. And I'm sure both sides would be just ready to rock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That'd be a really cool thing.
It's like, why not?
Yes. So on other performances, we have one of our students from California who just successfully defended her club championship.
Yeah,
and she's looking to up her game so she can start competing on a more interstate, and then hopefully more on an international, or I'm sure international would be somewhere she would be going.
Yeah, she's very competitive.
No kidding. So both Moo and I have the pleasure of coaching her, and she's like the Energizer Bunny. It's like when I was there between the week of Mexico, and I spent a week with her, and they have their own facility, they have their own hitting area, and so we would do the mornings in their training area.
Yeah.
And they got a GC Hawk, and they're really well equipped. And then we'd have a little bit of lunch, and then go out to the golf course afterwards. We played Pelican Hill, and that's a really sweet, fun golf course to play. Mm-hmm. And I go, hey, I think after 3 days you'd want a day off. Not even close.
Yeah.
Like, no, we have a tournament on Monday. We need she's in, she's fine, and she trains properly, she eats properly, and she's very, very competitive, and she knows how to pace herself. And man, what a pleasure it is to coach her, and you're seeing it firsthand now as well, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. Because I'm putting her through the speed session just to kind of help her build her club at speed and get more distance out of her anatomy. And Sean kind of placed the base in her technique, and it looks pretty refined. And now we're just bringing more of the athlete out of her, and she's starting to build on the right focus. Like we've added 10 more yards in her carry with the 7-iron, just the 7-iron, because right now that's what we're focusing on.
Nice.
Yeah. In the last 2 weeks only. So like, she's obviously dedicated. Like you said, she puts in the reps, and she, takes herself seriously in the way she coordinates. So this is going to be a very smooth process in terms of building her in the right direction.
And I appreciate the help, Moo, because, and you could see the specialties on the tour. You look, Brooks has got his swing coach. He's got a short game coach.
True,
Pete Cowan.
Yeah.
And so he's got an extensive team out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's become now, right? Because you have the money to support all that, right, and to bring out the best in yourself. And I find that me laying down the groundwork and getting all those building blocks set up, and then you come in, it's like, oh yeah, here we go, right?
Yeah.
And you've got such a successful, you've brought the two of you up beyond my expectations. Right. And I've got some pretty, optimistic expectations in general, and you exceeded those. So that, man, hats off to the both of you for your continued work. And that's why I feel supremely confident now that anybody that comes to, if you go to wisdomandgolfpremium.com and you take a look at the programs that we have, you get an Eagle Plus with me, and then you go to Moo's, Wisdom and Movement, and you have a speed training, and he spends like double the time with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You get the full
you're
hour.
Doing at least an hour.
Yeah, I get the full hour just so everyone can get the everything they need to be addressed.
The full benefit.
And it's also, speed sessions are almost a workout too, right?
Yes.
Like you're using the whole body to exercise. It also utilize the technique to its fullest.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm surveying things that may get out of whack.
Right. Yeah.
And I keep that lined up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put the nitrous oxide in there and put it into turbo and move forward from that.
Yeah.
And I just love that teamwork that we have.
Yep.
I'm really I'm stoked, man. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah,
so
me too.
Thank you, Moo.
No problem, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thanks for bringing, running with the ball that I gave you. And it's like, I think we have a nice long future together.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And Savvy can hang with it. So looking forward to seeing, because those 20 yards that we're building for her is something that she needs to compete with, because the women, there's some women out there, I mean, and the courses get longer the further out you go,
for sure.
And I think that those extra yards are going to come in extremely handy, because you put that in the hands of a competitor.
Yeah.
And so, I was able to work with another player on the male side very recently, and I can't tell you yet because it's a little bit on the private side, but the level of talent I was able to just work with, and the immediate results that it brought, really, I was teary-eyed at the end of the week.
Yeah, I bet.
Because of, the possibilities.
The opportunity.
And the opportunity. And so, that's a stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss any future episodes, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really looking forward to, it's like they say, these guys are good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some of them are like, these guys are off the charts great.
Mm-hmm.
Like the level of precision and ability to implement, and it's just like, yeah, my brain can take that and I can compete with that and I can implement that. And it was like instant implementation on the golf course.
Yeah.
Then the next level is, so you range, then golf course, check, and then let's see how that performs.
Yeah, I think you got an experience of what a top athlete's like.
Yeah.
In when it comes to being ready,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like that in any profession, I imagine, right? It's like you can take in new information and apply it immediately without going through the trials and errors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you go, hey, listen, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. I mean, this is working like brilliantly with this person. So come on, pick up your socks. Let's go. Just kidding. But knowing that that's the way to go, there's no doubt that's how the machine works. That's how the brain works. And all you got to do is stay that way and then let it evolve. Give it some breathing room, right? Give your horse the reins a little bit, let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see where that leads.
Yeah.
And it's like the anticipation in this game is so much fun. It's like you just hit this beautiful shot and it's, that's the feel I was looking for. And then you look up and you see the ball in the air pretty much on the line that you wanted to. And you go, okay, come on, wind, do your thing. And then the wind starts to take it. And then you get that, you're just licking your chops in anticipation of how good it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like that hole in one that Micheal Block did on number 15. It's like, yep, that's the line I wanted to. Okay, that's pretty good. I guess people appreciated the shot. Yeah, no crap. It's in the hole.
Yeah, it turned out better than you thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's with short game. It's with putting. It's with your driver, your irons. It's the coolest game on the planet, bar none. So what else is going on, you guys?
We're going to head out and do a little practice session.
Yeah?
Yeah, just work on short game for a bit.
It's a little chilly out there, so I don't know how long I'm going to last, but...
Oh,
yeah.
Tell me about it.
I mean, it's beautiful outside. The sun is shining, blue skies, but it is only like 10 degrees Celsius.
Well, we had some nice days in the 80s, and then...
Yeah.
Right. I guess that's what happens when you get a little bit of something from the Hudson Bay, in the Arctic, and it just like
blows its way down.
Yeah. Here.
Just
Enjoy the air conditioning. Turn it down, please.
Please no.
Yeah. So and then you guys are heading out, not next week, the week after.
Yeah, that's right. So we're heading to Denver, Colorado. So we'll be practicing a little bit later this week, just to get the mind right. Also, just kind of adjust to the conditions that are going to be there. Playing around with the GC quad to dial up the reality of a higher altitude.
Yeah,
and see what can happen and have fun, and then also
play with your trajectories to see which one's going to stay in the air longer.
That's right. Yeah. Probably won't need a low lofted head at all. Probably max 7-degree head will do just fine, which is actually perfect for our situation. With the
and your club head's still going strong, isn't it?
Yeah, it's holding up. It's really robust. I'm very impressed with the.
Like, it must be 1,200 hits by now.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, it's up there, and the ball speeds are up there too. So it's holding up with the ball speeds as well as the. So I'd say by now it's seasoned, and it's
seasoned to say the least.
Yeah, it's
like a fine wine.
Yeah.
So it's holding up very well to the sessions, and I can't wait to use it in competition.
Like, here we are, we're chomping at the bit. We're gonna receive our new Cobra equipment this week, and I got failed ribs. And so the first videos we're gonna be doing is gonna be on putting. And by the way, the new putters that Cobra has, I can't wait to get my hands on them, because they're very, very much along the same lines as the TaylorMade, the Spider.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the Odyssey 7. Which is it looks like a spaceship Enterprise. It's got those wings on both sides.
That's the one I ordered, so I can't wait to see that.
Spaceship.
Yeah. So it'll be really, really cool to. I knew right away just by looking at them. That's my model right there, and I know I'm going to putt lights out with it, right? Because I've tried enough, throughout my career. I just know by looking now, and I'm going back to blades. I can't believe it. I thought I was done with them. And I swear to you, man, I have never felt a blade this pure.
Yeah, it's like butter.
This pure. I mean, I hear the commercial for, Mizuno. And Mizuno makes an amazing blade. And if that's the blade that you hit best, absolutely. But in my mind, that Cobra blade is one notch above.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, personally.
Right.
So, and then... we'll get the ribs back into shape, and we'll start enjoying those and hitting some nice tidy shots. And if you saw my Instagram, it's like I can't miss the center of the face. It's so well balanced. It's like every swing, just open stance, closed stance, ball back, ball forward, flush, 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 flush.
Yeah.
Going. Oh, I can't wait to go play. I think I'm gonna want to play more than once a week now.
For sure, yeah.
Just because of that.
Yeah. That's going to be exciting to learn what the product, what the clubs do for you.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for you. I'm hoping to shade down my handicap a little bit with them.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. And they're, you guys are getting the forged as well. I mean, the whole King series is forged.
The tour, the King Tour.
The King Tour, yeah.
Yeah. I was very impressed by that.
Like butter.
Yeah. It did feel like that.
Yeah. And that's what even Mike was saying. Majority of his team and the employees at Cobra have gone with the King Tours.
Yeah,
because they're that good.
Even Ricky switched over to the King Tours. He was playing something else from Cobra, but he felt the King Tours and was like, that confirmed
the decision, because we weren't too sure what to go with. But when we saw that the King Tour had just a smidge more forgiveness, I was like,
for you long ballers out there, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why not, right? I mean, like,
And workability is pretty good with
Yeah.
that club.
And you look at a lot of the tour players out there. I mean, you know, paying those the I-230s.
Yeah.
That's cavity back, you know, and TaylorMade, you know, the TaylorMades that a lot of the, you know, you look at the TaylorMade irons, the 7Ws that Jason Day won with just over a week ago. That's not a blade, you know, that's got an inner cavity to it. Maybe in the shorter irons, but you know, so there's so many professionals out there that are looking for that extra little measure of forgiveness and ease. So, although, you know, Tony Finau's got no problem. He just
Yeah,
he laces anything.
Yeah, there's some different.
And you look at the size of his hands when he looks like he's holding this little toy in his hand,
Yeah.
right? The golf club looks like a little toy.
Yeah,
It's like, you know, me swinging a little junior club, basically.
pretty much. Yeah.
It's so hilarious when you watch him. You go, oh my gosh, it looks so easy for him.
Yeah.
So, and I just wanted to really hats off. I am wearing the new trousers from True.
The 5-pocket
the
one?
5-pocket one, and there's a chino that is very, very similar to these. And Sav, you paid me the coolest compliment before I broke my ribs. I didn't break my ribs before I damaged my side. What did you say again?
Well, so both Moo and Dad were wearing their new outfits from True, the tops and the bottoms, and their new shoes. And we walk into the academy, and Dad's having a lesson. I was like, he looks like 10 years younger than he usually does. And when he came out in the range, I was like, yeah, Dad, that stuff suits you way better. This is like the best stuff that Moo or Dad have ever worn. I mean, it completely...
You're the fashionista too, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fabric, the fit, the colors, the styles. I mean,
That's all I want to wear now.
Look good, feel good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the minimalist approach that they have is amazing.
The quality of the material is off the charts.
Yeah.
You know, it's
they put a lot of work into that lineup.
Exactly.
Like they worked years to come out with that stuff.
Yes.
And for good reason.
Yeah, they're gonna take over
They're
gonna take over my closet pretty fast.
100%.
Yeah.
You will only probably be wearing that from now on.
I'm serious.
100%.
I'm serious. It's gonna take over my closet, and I
100%.
can see myself wearing it. You know,
it's not even close. It's not even close. Not even close, man.
Yeah, that's the nice
thing.
thing.
Those joggers look amazing.
Yeah, they're perfect. Like you should get a pair.
I'm going to get a few pairs.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I mean, now I want 15 years younger. Okay.
Well, 10. I did say 10 to 15.
10 to 15. Okay, I want a minimum 15.
But it's nice. Like their clothing is super appropriate for on and off the course, and I mean, you wear it outside the course, and you're like, oh, that's some nice clothing. And like wouldn't really necessarily tie it to golf specific. No. And then you wear it on the golf course and you're like, dang, that's some nice golf clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's got this special cell phone pocket down the right side.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the top right pocket. Genius. Absolute genius. So it's like you just slip it down there. It's got a little zipper on it in case, right?
Yeah.
And you just slip in and out. Very easy to, you know, especially the smaller phones. But even the My Pro goes down there, no problem. The Pro
14 Pro, iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Pro Max, yeah. The Pro Max actually fits in that pocket
with the OtterBox case on it.
Yes, with the OtterBox case on it.
That's really good.
Yeah. This whole thing, I won't reach down. It's gonna hurt.
And you do have a discount code for people.
We do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, one of the things that you'll realize is when you go to our page on our website, wisdomandgolf.com, on our Pro Shop page, this stuff we've been dealing with for some of it's over a decade. It's like when you have a really good something that's going to help your game or help you enjoy the game more, it just stays. And if it's no good, it's off the page. Yeah. So you know, just go to wisdomandgolf.com, go to that store page. I mean, we have a nice square there for do we have it? Is the link updated on there? It's in our, if you look at the description, if you go to the most recent video on YouTube and look in the description, you'll see it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So, get a little something from us on our behalf, and, get in there fast, because this thing is going to get sold out so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. And leave some for us too, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
we got some more to order. Yeah. So with that, we hope you have an amazing week and a weekend, and more Micheal Block watching next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time. All the best.
All the best.
Take care.